Hi Year 10. Today is one of my favorite lessons. I really love finding the equation of a line algebraically. I think you are either going to love it or you're absolutely going to hate it. And it's kind of just one of the two different things. I personally think finding the equation of a line algebraically is around grade 6, 7. It's definitely more than a grade 5. Depending on what they ask us to do, it could be as difficult as grade 8. We could get even fancier if we add in parallel lines. We're not going to do that today. Don't worry, I'm not that crazy. But yeah, like I said, you're either going to love it or you're going to absolutely hate it. So you already know that the equation of any line, a nice diagonal line in particular, can be given in the form y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Now the other day when we did this using a diagram, so we could very nicely count the gradient on a grid, and then we also found the y-intercept by just using our eyes. Today we're not going to get a chance to do that. It is way fancier, but I think you'll be really good at it because you're quite good at algebra. All right, I'm going to stop talking and here we go. All right, the question asks us to work out the equation of the straight line that passes through the points 2, 3, and 5, 9. All right, so we already know that all lines are in the form y equals mx plus c. So just like the other day, we have to try to find m first and c second. So in order for us to find m, thankfully we know a little formula that helps us find m. So we're going to do m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And that gives us 6 over 3, which gives us a lovely gradient of 2. So we now know that the gradient is 2. Now here comes the really fancy part. We need to find out c. So if we look at our equation of a line, we know m. We just found it. We also know y and x, which is really good because we can actually substitute something into y and x. I'll tell you about that in a second. And we can rearrange everything like solving equations to find out what the value of c is. Now, the reason why I say we know how much x and y are is because look at this. Look at this lovely little point right here. 5, 9 is a point, and 5 would be x and 9 would be y. So we can substitute those in. So let's rewrite all of this. You might be confused with what I'm talking about. So I've got y equals mx plus c. From what I just wrote out before this, I know that y is 9, so I can write that in. I know that m is 2, because that's what I found at the start of the question, and x is 5. Well, mx means times, so I'm going to do 2 times by 5 plus c. So I'm going to work that out a little bit. 9 is equal to 10 plus c. Oh, I can solve for c. This is definitely an equation I can solve. I can subtract 10 from this side and get c all by itself, and subtract 10 from this side. 9 minus 10 is minus 1. Minus 1 is equal to c. Oh my goodness, I've got everything. There's m, there's c. Let's put that all back together. Y equals 2x minus 1. There we go. I found the equation of the line that goes through the point 2, 3, and 5, 9. All right, maybe that made absolutely no sense. Don't worry, we're going to try it one more time. Yeah, let's try it again. All right, same idea, different numbers. Let's try this again. So work out an equation of the straight line that passes through the points 1, 7, and 4, 16. So we already know that y equals mx plus c. So just like the other day when we had a diagram, we start by finding m. And in order to find the gradient m, we need to use our gradient formula. So for gradient, we're going to do y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. 16 take away 7 is 9, and 4 take away 1 is 3. So the gradient of this line is 3. Now you might be wondering, when I went to do the next step last time, when I went to substitute in an x and a y, you might be wondering, why did I choose the second point? And the honest answer is because I like the look of it a little bit more. So you can choose any of the points. You can choose 1, 7, or you can choose 4, 16. It really doesn't make a difference. You just choose whichever numbers you like best. And you know what? This time I like 1 and 7 best. So I'm going to use those two. So I know that my x is 1 and I know my y is 7. So I'm going to rewrite the equation y equals mx times by x plus c using what I know. And when I mean what I know that m is 3, so I can substitute that in. Remember, we did substitution not that long ago. I know that x is 1, so I can substitute that in. And I know that y is 7. So let's go ahead and substitute all those things in. So we've got 7 is equal to 3 times by 1 plus c. So that means 7 is equal to 3 plus c. So I can take away 3 from both sides, and I have 4 is equal to, oops, that's not what I meant. I have 4 is equal to c, and there we go. I've got all the bits that I need. I've got m is 3, and I've got c is 4, and now I can put everything back together in my equation. Y equals 3x plus 4. All right, hopefully I'm making some sense. If I'm not, I really apologize, and we can try this again at another point in time. But, we'll just keep on going, and I'm sure it will be fine eventually. So we'll go on to another question. This one has a negative in it this time to be super fancy. So you've got work out an equation of the straight line that passes through the points 10, 1, and 6, minus 1. So we know y is equal to mx plus c, so we need to find m first. So m is equal to minus 1, y2, take away y1, which is 1, divided by x2 minus x1. Ooh, this one looks like it's going to be a fraction. Fun times. Minus 2 divided by minus 4, which is 1/2. Now, I'm going to try to keep it as a half, but if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can also use 0.5. All right, so there is our gradient. So which point do you like this time? If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really like the 0.6 minus 1. I don't love negative numbers. I probably should, but I just really don't. So I'm going to choose this point instead, 10, 1. And from there, I know that x is 10, and I know that y is 1. So let's go ahead and try to find this equation. So we know y equals mx plus c. I know that y is equal to 1, because I just wrote that down. I know that m is a half, because I just found that. And x is 10, so a half times by 10 plus c. So a half of 10 is 5, so 1 is equal to 5 plus c. And then I can solve for c by just subtracting 5 from both sides. 1 take away 5 is minus 4. Minus 4 is equal to c. And now I've got my answer for m. And I also have my answer for c, so I can go back and put those together. Now I can have either of these two answers. I can have y is equal to 1/2 x minus 4. That is an absolutely acceptable answer. Also completely acceptable, 0.5x minus 4. Okay, if you like the decimal, that's totally cool, because this is a terminating decimal. 1/2 is absolutely fine to write as 0.5. If it was a third, I don't know if I'd want to write it as a decimal, because it wouldn't be quite as accurate. All right, I'd love to tell you this gets super fancy. This is pretty much it. I could keep on doing these examples, but we're definitely going to get bored of that. I'll leave you there for now, and I'll get you to practice some of those, okay? All right, have a good day.